Well, here's some landscape design work, some preliminary work, some ideas for a rear garden. Let me just click in here and zoom out a little. So we have measured the footprint of the house, denoting that rear area. There's a scale in here. So if we zoom in there, that's a 0.1 metre, 6 metre scale. So we have a fairly good idea that this has been drawn full size. Now the designer here would like to move this into SketchUp, and she has a version of SketchUp which allows you to import either DXF or DWG files. We'd suggest that the simple way to get this information into SketchUp is to go File, DXF Tools and DXF Out, and we'll put it on the desktop and we'll call it Landscape Design. And we're going to export it, of course, as a DXF file. So that file's now been written from here and is now in a form that some versions of SketchUp can accept it. So let's swing to SketchUp and see if we can import the base information. I'll draw your attention though to how various things have happened in this drawing. That suggests to me a polyline that's been exploded, and there are far too many vertices in there. And if we do the same here, not quite so many vertices. If I come over here and select a line, can you see it's been broken up, not into individual vertices? That one has. So I suggest that there's been some unusual work done here in the LCD, in the file here. It's just possible that you might not be able to write out a DWG file from here. Much easier to go using the mechanism that we've suggested. So let's now turn to SketchUp and let's have a look. One other point, I've made a rectangle there. It's a polyline, and I've put it on a layer called Hardscape. It's often a good idea if you're moving things into SketchUp to separate entities into, say, Hardscape and planting layers. Well, I don't have the very latest version of SketchUp Pro that does take DXF files in, but I've got an earlier version, so let's demonstrate. So it's File and Import, and on our desktop we've got the DXF file we just wrote out, and we can bring it into this environment. I'll then choose Zoom Extents, and then I'll use the Orbit tool to move around and zoom out a little. So there's our design that's come across from gCADPlus. If I select the design, it's one entity at the moment, and let's imagine that you wanted to work with the walls in this design. So clearly that little block through there is a wall layer. The block down through this zone is the paving that runs to the outside of the building. So you can draw or build your model directly on this information by using the standard tools, but you often get quite strange results. Let me use the tool here. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to draw the wall in that way, and that worked. I'll escape from here. I'm not thoroughly familiar with the drawing. Maybe that was a window. So I need to be much more alert to what's going on in the original drawing. If I take this one and click like so, that to me was a wall, and that's worked nicely. This zone through here is going to be a path. So I could, well, I'll try, see if I can put a rectangle there and then down to that point. I'm not able to, I want to snap to this point there. We got it. So it is a matter of being a little bit careful. So we've created, let's imagine, on a walls layer, having got those, let's select the wall that's there, and we'll use the push-pull tool, and we'll pull that one up, say 2400, and up goes the wall. The path that's out here, let's pick it and use the push-pull tool, and let's imagine we want to move that particular path up, maybe to match some decking, maybe that's going to go up 100 mils. So you can see I'm now starting to build my model. This area through here will be a pergola, and although what we've done so far worked quite well, it's going to be a much more complex to work that pergola. You might well bring a 3D model of a pergola in here. I do remember in the original drawing that this was a rainwater tank, so it should be possible to pick an endpoint there to there, and then pick that note, edit, and undo that circle. We want to put a circle radius there, so you can see my skills in SketchUp leave a little bit to be desired. So can it find a center point of, so the export hasn't recognized that was a center point there, so I'm in the same degree of difficulty again. So what I'd probably do, because it's you only want to give the client an appreciation of what's happening, I'd change to a plan view. I'd change my camera to parallel. I'd pan down a little, and then I'd use my tool. I'd just pick somewhere in the center. Oh, that was interesting to me. That picked it beautifully. So there we are. So that tank might be on a tank stand, and we can use the push-pull tool to bring it up. So I hope that gives you some idea that it can be quite advantageous to export a DXF file from gCADPlus and push it into a version of SketchUp which accepts that sort of information, the DXF information.